Welcome back to OC Outdoorsman. I'm here today with Glenn and Caesar. We're at Dana Point, California. It's been a while since we fished here. We've been doing a lot of Newport Beach kayak fishing, but today we're going to try a new spot. Again, out here at Dana Point. As you can see, the conditions were ideal. Very flat, no swells, very little wind. You can see the water was almost at 68 degrees at a depth of 22 feet. Off to my left there, you can see Glenn and Caesar. We're just passing Doheny Beach, heading south. Well, the sun finally decides to come out, and the first fish I land this morning is a baby white sea bass. I caught maybe half a dozen of these in this area, which is a good sign, meaning that the bigger guys are lurking about. I'm using live sardines as bait, and this one gets slammed on the descent. And as you can see here, it's a decent calico bass. I typically release these guys regardless of size. Because there's very little kelp in this area, I was pretty much drifting around all morning, casting out live sardines, and this one just gets hammered by a decent sand bass. I've sped up the footage here because he put up a pretty good fight, but after measuring him, he came out to a little over 16 inches. Really good fish. He really swallowed this fish, so I had a hard time getting the hook out of his mouth, but here's a better shot of this sand bass. Here I've sped up the footage again because this next fish put up a tremendous fight. After casting out a live sardine, it sat on the bottom just for a few minutes and gets hammered by a leopard shark. You can see he put up quite the fight. And I was able to get him into my net and onto the kayak. You'll see him here. I didn't measure this guy, but again, with leopard sharks, I tend to release them all regardless of their size. Well, the day progressed, and by now it was early afternoon, and I cast out a live sardine, and this one was just slammed on the bottom. And I really had to speed up the footage because this fish kept pulling drag. It was big. We were headed north towards the harbor when this fish struck, and as you can see, it's kind of hard to see since it's partially submerged, but this is a guitar fish. It looks part shark, part ray. Years ago, when I used to fish off piers, I'd see people catch guitar fish, but they were all small, maybe a foot and a half. I'd also see them on the bottom when I'd go spearfishing, but never have I seen one this big. This guy put up such a great fight, and because of his size, he kept pulling away. It was so hard to get him on the boat, but I finally removed the hook and got to release him. Boy, that was exhausting. So here I'm returning to Baby Beach, and man, we covered over 10 miles of water today, so I was really tired. It was an epic day of fishing out of Dana Point, and I will be returning to that spot on another day. So now it's time to unload all my gear and grab some lunch. And of course, pulling up the rear is Glenn. He had a pretty good day as well. He caught a decent leopard shark. Thanks you guys for watching, and please subscribe.